Hey, it's me, MLB. This is chapter 77 of Touched. This one is titled Mummy Life. A small, helpless cry rang out through the quiet hospital room and you stirred. Groggily, you opened your eyes and pushed Hawks's wing down to peer over the top. What is... Oh, baby. You wriggled your way out from underneath his wing and gingerly hopped out of bed, waddling and limping around to the hospital crib to pick up little Hiyoko for a feed. You unwrapped him and picked him out, walking over to the chair and sitting down to feed. As you sat down gingerly, you pulled your top up and flopped a boob out, fiddling around until you got him attached. He latched on and started sucking. Oh, God, this feels weird, you thought with a wince, as the feeling of his little mouth sucking on your nipple sent a weird stinging pain into your breast. He fed for a bit, then fell asleep, unlatching and flopping back away from your boob. Oh, he's asleep again. You picked him up gently and wrapped him up, and then put him back in the crib and walked back around and hopped into the hospital bed next to Hawks. You had just drifted off when you heard Hiyoko squeak again. What does he want now, you thought, as you got up to him. You okay, baby? Hawks asked softly in his just woke up voice when he felt you stir and get up again. I think so. Hiyoko is awake again, but I just fed him so he can't be hungry, he said in a tired voice as you picked out your little bundle again. Hiyoko opened his mouth and started looking for a nipple, huffing softly with his mouth open. That's the hungry sign, isn't it? Hawks asked with a yawn as he sat up and looked at you and Hiyoko. You nodded. Okay, well, I'll feed him again, you said as you repeated the same ritual as before. Hiyoko fed for a small time, then fell asleep again, so you bundled him up and lay him back in the cot. Hawks gave you a cuddle as you hopped back into bed, and then settled down with you again. You had just drifted off slowly when Hiyoko called out again. You groaned as you stirred. Why does he keep waking up? You wailed softly as you got up to him again. You fed him again, and then once again he fell asleep, so you hopped back into bed. 15 minutes later, he was awake again. You burst into tears when you heard him. Baby? Hawks asked groggily. Is he awake again? I just want to sleep, you cried as you got up. Let me call for the nurse. She might be able to help, Hawks said as he pushed the call button. It was now 3:30 a.m, and the nurse walked in with a smile as you stood there looking dead with a baby in arms. How are you, Mrs. Takami? She asked pleasantly. I'm tired and Hiyoko won't sleep, you said bluntly, wiping the tears from your eyes. When did he feed last? The nurse asked, taking Hiyoko from your hands. Like 20 minutes ago, you croaked. How long does he feed for? She asked as she tickled Hiyoko's cheek. He immediately swung his head towards her hand and tried to latch onto her finger. Only a short time, then he falls asleep, you said as you watched her. He's still hungry, she said with a smile. Let me help you. She sat you down and helped you get Hiyoko attached again. Okay, when Hiyoko falls asleep, tickle his little foot or his hand to wake him back up so he feeds for longer, she said as she sat back and looked over at Hawks, who was fading very quickly in the hospital bed. Why don't they make boys do the breastfeeding? You grumbled when you saw Hawks drifting off to sleep again. The nurse chuckled softly. Every new mother asks that same question, she replied. It's because we can handle it. Guys wouldn't last one day as a breastfeeding mother. You smiled. Just then little Hiyoko fell asleep and the nurse gestured to him. Give him a little tickle, she encouraged. You tickled his tiny foot and he woke up again, sucking furiously and gulping the milk down. There you go, the nurse said softly. Just keep waking him up until you can't wake him anymore. Thank you so much, she said gratefully. Not a problem, the nurse replied as she stood to leave. He's only just new, so he'll need to feed more often, but after he finishes his feed he should go for 2 hours. 2 hours? Only 2 hours? You wailed internally. Oh, well, I guess it's better than every 20 minutes. Little Hiyoko finally finished a good feed, and you put him back to sleep and flopped into the bed next to Hawks again. The next time you woke, it was the next day already, and you looked at the clock on the wall. 7:10 a.m. It's morning already? Oh my gosh, Hiyoko, is he okay? You pushed Hawks's wing off quickly and looked over at your baby who was sleeping peacefully in his cot. Oh, thank goodness he's all right, you thought. You sighed and lay back. Morning, baby, Hawks mumbled as he kissed your cheek when he felt you stir. How did you go last night? You just gave him the dirtiest glare and he pulled back a bit. What did I do? He asked apprehensively. You and your useless nipples, you grumbled. He gave you an apologetic look. I'm sorry, he said as he hugged you. I'll get up with you tonight and help as much as I can. Thank you, I'd like that, you said as you lay back down and shut your eyes. Just then Hiyoko squeaked and you groaned. Oh, here we go again. After spending 4 days in hospital, they gave you and Hiyoko a clean bill of health and you prepared to leave. True to his word, Hawks had gotten up with you at the night and had either offered to burp Hiyoko or given you a neck massage while you were feeding, which you greatly appreciated. All the very best with your new baby. The nursing staff congratulated you and thanked them all again for their help. Where's my baby and mummy? Brian asked excitedly as you, Hawks, with Hiyoko made your way to his car. Right here, Brian, you said excitedly with a big smile. Oh, I am so excited to be the one to take you both home, he squealed. Hawks told me he'd fly home, so it's you and me and baby makes 3, babe. You smiled as he opened the back door of the car and you put the sleeping Hiyoko into the baby seat. Hawks gave you a goodbye kiss before taking to the sky, and Brian helped you into the passenger side of the car. So, what's it like being a mummy? He queried as he flicked his non-existent fringe back. Honestly, it's hard, you sighed. Hawks tries to help, but he can't do very much. Oh, baby, Brian pouted. I'll stay over tonight and help, okay? I will make you hot drinks, carry Hiyoko, give you massages, change nappies. I'll be the best gay nanny you could ever ask for, he said as he waved his hand around. Really? He said with relief in a quivering voice as a tear slid down your cheek. Of course, honey bunch, he said excitedly. It would be an honour to nanny Beyonce's divine child. Then he saw you crying. Oh, Pooh Bear, don't cry. But I'm so happy, you wailed as you sobbed harder. Oh, my sweet bean, don't you worry about a thing. Uncle Bri has got you, he said as he placed a manicured hand on your leg and patted you reassuringly. Thank you, Bri, you wailed. And there ends chapter 77. Stay tuned for chapter 78.